Leo, welcome to your end of February 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So, there's going to be a full moon around, I should say, in case it's not for everybody, on February 27th. For some of you, it will be on February 27th. 8 degrees of Virgo. Virgo is your second house of earned income. However, for those of you after 8 degrees, this will probably fall in your first house of the self and be more about letting go of something that doesn't serve you as it relates to your life in general or your image. For the rest of you, this might be some kind of a bonus or a raise at work or something that your earning potential increases. Or maybe you're retiring and you're changing that source of income. So that could certainly be the case. Heart of the matter, it seems like I've been getting this guy sometimes. This is the King of Swords. I was thinking Aquarius. That's your opposite sign. And this guy looks like an Aquarius. Not really, not how I picture Aquarians, but that vibe of being so detached. This, because I'll just, talk about the card that I have. The past position, we have the Justice card, which is, you see that sword, just like the King of Swords. And this is connected to Libra. And Libra is an air sign. And the air signs are Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And they're represented by the Suit of Swords. The air signs are about the intellect. And they're about detachment from the emotions. And this is why if you deal with air signs, you will notice that they tend to shy away from strong emotions, even positive ones. So even though air signs are compatible with fire signs like you, Leo, me, Sag, and Aries, you will see with some of these people that they kind of get really uncomfortable, even if you're like hugging them, or if you're just expressing, this real excitement about something, they might kind of sink into themselves because they don't really like that effusive display. They prefer that cool, calm intellect. Libra is the one that can confuse you because they might be very romantic, but you will see, almost to your horror or surprise sometimes, that a Libra person can detach right quick. And you're like, what happened to all those sweet nothings? Well, they were theoretical, I guess. But in any case, this could be somebody who is making a decision. Now, for sure, it could be you, that you have to that warmth that the typical typical Leo person exudes may have to be tempered, because you feel like, oh my gosh, if I open my heart anymore, it's going to get trampled on. So I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I want to do, is get my heart trampled on. So you might just be like, I'm going to just be as detached as I possibly can in this situation. The Justice card could be a legal decision, like a divorce decree, or a child custody hearing, a child custody, or, financial, what do they call that? Child support, that kind of thing. What else? But also like a workplace situation where you have to deal with a boss, maybe a wayward boss or an unfair boss. Certainly with the scales of justice, the Justice card, you may feel like you're working in an environment that isn't fair. The higher message goes along with this because it says the Three of Pentacles for this card, which is about coworkers, teamwork. If you're in an environment where that is not encouraged, where being a team player, they might say it, but they're not really living up to it, and there's not that kind of impartial impartiality, where there is preferential treatment, then that is not fair, obviously, and you can see it. You can tell that that's happening. And some of you Leos may have Mars in Libra, and it might drive you actually bonkers that you're dealing with this, or the moon in Libra. One thing I will say, though, if you have a prominent planet in Libra, I feel like this type of thing has to be tempered, because you have to realize, no, it isn't fair. And that just is how it is. And when you're looking for fairness everywhere you go, you're going to drive yourself crazy. But on the other hand, you certainly deserve what you deserve. So if there's something that you haven't gotten because you're being treated like, you don't have some kind of say, when in fact you do have a say, by all means, don't roll over for people that are, banking on it, or hoping that you're going to just fold like a deck of cards. I guess you have to pick your battles. And also another thing is that the King of Swords, if this is a father, because the king can be a father or a partner, this person may be out of touch with their feelings. And so they may not be a bad, evil person, but they may be somebody who loves in a different way than you. And it can feel like very uncomfortable, because you're a very touchy-feely kind of a person, Leo. You tend to be. I mean, there might be a few of you out there who are aloof. Maybe you have the moon in Aquarius or something like that. Not to pick on Aquarius, but, that kind of thing. And you don't like some of that behavior. But I think that, is really interesting, because I hope I didn't say this to Leo, because it'll be really embarrassing if I repeated myself to the same sign on a different video. But I was just reading this biography by Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac, and I just started it, but I actually read his ex-wife's biography first. She put hers out after his, and if you read this thing, you might like hate his guts and think that he was a bad person. But she is a Scorpio, and he's a Gemini. And I think he might be close to Cancer, but I think he's a Gemini. And so they're like totally different types of people. And he made a point of saying, I haven't even like finished his book, but he was saying, I realize now, based on what she told me, that I wasn't emotionally available enough. And, it was just that I didn't know how to do that. And there are people like that. And we condemn people for the way that they express themselves, as if it's some kind of like judgment against us, or some attack on us. And we have to become more and more in tune with the fact that not everybody is like us, and they don't express emotion. Some people are not very complimentary towards other people. Like even me, like I notice even when I'm doing these readings, I tend to look at what is wrong. I have a moon in Virgo, so I'm very like, into criticizing things, and I have to make a point of being more like, oh, this is positive, or even if I'm dealing with people, being more positive. But it's not because I'm just trying to look for faults. That's just the way that like the Virgo influence operates. It's very into perfection and into all of that. And so if you see something that isn't quite right, that urge to mention it is so great. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with others. But that might feel very like that it has been something that has, in some cases, haunted you. That, this person who has withheld love, affection, approval of you, that they're still kind of in your head in some way. And if that is true for you, Leo, you have the opportunity to learn from that person, whether it was a parent or if it's a boss, and you're like, I don't want to be like this person. Yeah, that's what you can learn, and you can make a point of doing the exact opposite of that, of praising, not overpraising, but you know, praising somebody in an appropriate way, in a way that's very natural, because you want them to know that you appreciate them. It's very difficult when you don't, feel that you're, um, that you're doing a good job, or that uh, the person that you're with on a romantic level, that they appreciate you, that that other person may kind of be very quiet and they may not say anything, and that it can make a person feel nervous. So if that's how you feel, that is absolutely normal. What crosses you is the King of Pentacles. So in some cases, if there is an authority figure, or like I said, like a parent or somebody, and or a spouse, and you feel like they are very closed off, and you don't feel that, you don't, like if this is a significant other, you may feel like you don't have, there's not like love between you, and you don't want to be in that situation anymore, but there's some kind of financial tie, then that may be keeping you there. Um, and this is part of this is going to be a mental thing in some cases, where you feel like your good is tied to this person. Some people have set it up this way. If this, for instance, a parent who has kept their adult child pretty dependent, and feeling powerless to live an independent life, the narcissist will employ this tactic very often. And I've said this before, that when I see, even, especially more than one king or queen in a reading, I think, oh, is this person a narcissist? Have they tried to have this control over the other person, to make them think that they can't live without them, that they have to be there? And yet you're the one, Leo, that has to break free from that programming, because that other person, they need that control. So they're not going to just give it up. And if you fight it in some way by trying to reason with them, they're going to, feel that you're in their head. The King of Swords can get in people's heads. Now, especially if it was reversed, that might be a real dangerous type, because they might really, that might be their goal. This type of person, if anything, with the King of Pentacles reversed, they're just very materialistic. So they're coming at life. If this is your boss, for instance, you may be trying to connect with your clients, the public, in a very sincere way, and they're just trying to get you to get money out of people, and it doesn't feel right to you, because Leo is a very generous sign, and so you're capable of appreciating money and things like that, but you're a very genuine person, so you're not going to be feeling comfortable with inauthentic behaviors just to get money out of people. So there might be some conflict with that you have to resolve, and that might involve, switching where you work. And what's coming in, the Eight of Wands, there may be like very quick developments, So if you've been like, I really want to work someplace else, but this is all that I can for the moment, well, maybe so, but maybe in the near future, things will just start to pop for you. And and I think especially in March, and this is the Eight of Wands. That could be that time. I mean, where everything just starts to speed up. I mean, I feel like February, and I've heard, an energy reader, or maybe multiple people talk about this time. Of course, the Mercury retrograde slows things down as well, and that March is like this green light period. The outcome, the Hermit card. So, doing that soul searching, um, having that, maybe having, travel kind of coming up for you. The opportunity to travel, perhaps, or something like that, where you're just like, oh, thank God, I can do this, and I can just, I don't have to worry about having to stay somewhere where I just feel like I'm being scrutinized, and I'm not getting that positive feedback, and maybe I feel like I'm supposed to be competing with these other employees, and we don't have this unity that I really want. I really want this. Leos are natural leaders, so you have this capacity to be the King of Swords. But maybe, you're in a place where it's just too about the material, and there's not enough respect for the people that are your clients or what have you. I don't know. In any case, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that you resonated with this. If you would like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. I also do the tarot, but I have combination readings with natal chart interpretation and the tarot for a special price called the Whole Enchilada. Deep dive readings, full length tarot, full length natal chart analysis, full length transits, that kind of thing. The link is below, and you can see more information on that. Have a great rest of February. It's going fast, isn't it? Take care. Bye.